What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we're going to be talking about Titanfall 2. We just recently got a gameplay trailer for both single player as well as multiplayer, and yes, there is going to be single player this year, which is excellent. The first Titanfall, if you guys didn't know, didn't have any single player whatsoever. It was entirely multiplayer, and it was a great game. I really enjoyed myself with it, but it didn't last super long for me. I loved it while it did last, but it kind of died off fairly quickly. So I think having a campaign on this one is definitely going to extend the life cycle a little bit and add a little bit more to the game, just make it a more well-rounded game. And I feel like it's going to be more of a full game rather than just like a partial game that you're buying. Even though most of my time is probably going to be spent in multiplayer anyways, it's always nice to know that there is that campaign there that just rounds out the game a little bit. You get a bit more into the backstory. I think they did an excellent job of kind of hinting at the backstory with the first Titanfall, with it being only multiplayer, but now we can actually get into that story, and I'm definitely excited for this. So as you can see from the trailer, the graphics in this look absolutely incredible, and they did look really good in the first Titanfall as well. I'm not trying to take anything away from that game, but they definitely seem to have improved a little bit, and it looks great. As for the single player gameplay, we didn't really get any of this. It was pretty much just a cinematic trailer that gives you a little bit of a hint at the backstory and stuff, and it doesn't really show what the actual single player gameplay is going to look like and what you have to actually do in the single player or how much variety there will be in gameplay and everything. So I'm definitely excited in hearing a little bit more about this in the future. As for the multiplayer, just based on the trailer, the gameplay itself looks to be very similar to Titanfall 1, and this isn't a bad thing by any means. I think the core gameplay in the original Titanfall was excellent, and it's one of the things that really made that first game shine. So it's nice that they didn't move away from that too much, or it looks like it doesn't. Keep in mind, I haven't played this yet, haven't had a chance to play it yet. But one thing I noticed is they definitely seem to have added a lot of new equipment and abilities and things like that. And that's something that was definitely lacking in the first Titanfall, as well as weapons. I don't know if they added a bunch more weapons in this, but in the first Titanfall, there just wasn't much as far as like customization and variety, as far as things that you could actually use in-game. There weren't very many guns. There wasn't a ton of equipment and the abilities and everything. There wasn't really much of that, and it seems like they've definitely expanded on that in the second one. That was one of my biggest complaints with the first Titanfall. The gameplay itself is very solid, and it looks like they are sticking to that for the most part. One of the new additions that I really like the looks of, and they really wanted to show off quite a bit here, is the grapple hook. So with this, you can now get up to higher positions a whole lot easier. Before you had to like chain your wall runs together and everything to make it up to a lot of those spots. But now you can have that grapple ability, which from the sounds of it, you don't actually have all the time. You have to select it as an ability. But I think this is definitely going to change the game in a good way. It'll allow you to be a little bit more free with your movements around the map. You'll be able to get across the map a little bit easier, get higher positions a whole lot easier. And it looks like it's very fluid as well. It's not the kind of grapple hook where you just like grapple onto something and it takes you straight to it. You have to actually use your momentum to swing around and get on top of certain areas and everything. And it looks very, very smooth and very well implemented. But I'm excited to try this thing out. In addition to this, it looks like they've added 2 new Titans, which is excellent. If I'm not mistaken, I could be remembering incorrectly here. I think we had 3 Titans on the original Titanfall. So I'm hoping this is just 2 more on top of those, but I'm not 100% sure on this. We don't have all the details, and also I'm not really looking into every single detail of this game. This is just my initial impressions based on the trailers that I saw here. But we have 2 new Titans, and they have different abilities. Like one of them has a big ray that comes out of its chest and basically destroys anything in its path. And I think the other one has like a flaming wall ability or something. It looks really cool. I'm definitely excited about that. I mean, it's not the highlight of it or anything for me, but it is nice that they seem to be adding more variety and more choices as far as your loadouts and everything in this game. One final thing I wanted to share here is this year, Titanfall 2 is going to be on PS4 as well. If you guys remember correctly from the first Titanfall, we only had it available on Xbox One, I believe Xbox 360 at the time as well as Origin on PC. But this year, it's actually going to be on PS4 as well. This is great to see. I was really disappointed, even though I had an Xbox One and I ended up getting it on Xbox One and everything. It was really disappointing to see that they were cutting off a really big portion of the gaming community by not having it on PlayStation. And this year, they are going to be having it PS4, so everybody gets a shot at buying this, and that's very, very exciting news. As for the release date, it's going to be released on October 28th. So this is 1 week after Battlefield 1 and 1 week before Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. And for me, that's going to be a bit tough, because I'm definitely planning on getting all 3 of those games Battlefield 1, I'm going to be playing a ton within the first week that it launches, and then when Titanfall 2 comes out, I'm going to have to put a bunch of time into that before Call of Duty launches. And as you guys may or may not know, I am pretty much mainly a Call of Duty YouTuber, so by the time Call of Duty comes out, I'm really going to be dialing back my gameplay time on both Battlefield 1 and Titanfall, but I'm definitely looking forward to that at least one solid week of grinding on Titanfall, and I'm sure I'll still come back to it every now and then, depending on how much I like it, of course. I mean, I haven't played the game yet, but I'm quite confident that I will like it, because I did enjoy the first one quite a bit, and this one doesn't seem to have strayed too far from that formula. So that's going to wrap it up for my initial impressions of the trailers that we got on Titanfall 2. I'd love to know in the comment section below, what do you think about this game? Are you going to be buying it? Are you really excited for it? Or is it not really your cup of tea? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.